The truth is, your AI generated websites probably look horrible. Here's why. You're going into Cursor or Claude, typing make it beautiful or make it look stunning, and then you're confused as to why everything ends up generic and boring just like every other AI built site. You might think it's the AI's fault, but in reality, it's how you're using it. In this video, I'll be sharing 3 methods that will transform your websites from generic to actually stunning. Let's jump right into it. Let's say you find a website that you really like the look of and you want to copy some of the aesthetics. So what you can do is you can right click on the website, do inspect, and then go to the console. You can do Control-Shift-P, and you can do full screenshot. So this will capture the entire website. So it'll just do everything in one go. Now, one option is just take that screenshot we took and put it straight into Cursor and say, build something like this. This option does work. However, if you have a more complicated landing page that you're trying to copy, another option that I found works very well is to go to Claude or ChatGPT, give it the screenshot of the web page, and then give it this prompt: create a JSON profile design system that extracts visual data from these screenshots so I can use the JSON output in Cursor. And I'll include the full prompt so that you can copy it in the description below. So I submitted that prompt, and you can see Claude is creating this JSON spec, basically a design spec that we're going to give to Cursor so it knows exactly how to recreate that landing page. I will say the bonus of this approach is that I think when you're using Cursor and putting in large images like a full screenshot of a website, it's going to use more tokens than just this simple design spec. Back in Cursor, I'm going to remove that image, and because now we have this design spec to include. And now you can see I've submitted that prompt, and now Cursor is creating that entire website. So Cursor has created about 1,500 lines of code using our design spec. So let's see what it looks like. This is the resulting website Cursor gave us, and I think it looks amazing for a one-shot output. You can see it even has this cool little window example here of how the agent would work. It also has hover animations for hovering over stuff. This part could use some work, but I really do like the pricing page here. So this is amazing for a first shot. So method 1 was great if you have a design to copy, but what if you want to create something completely original? This is where the second method comes in, which is perfect if you are already building React-based websites, because this website lets you customize ShadCN components. If you're not sure what ShadCN is, don't worry, I'm going to break it down for it to be super easy to understand. Basically, ShadCN is just a bunch of different components that are beautifully designed and that you can customize, extend, and build on, as it says here. And TweakCN takes this level of customizability to the next level. So right now I am in the editor, and you can see you can change any of these components to look however you want. For example, right now I'm in the colors tab. I can change this to green, violet, whatever color I want to do. There's also typography, different dashboards. You can see just how many different types of components there are, and they are all customizable with this nice UI. So I have a random theme that I just customized myself, but if you click right here, you can see there are preset themes that you could cycle through, and all of these look absolutely amazing and will really take your websites to the next level. Once you have customized your theme to your liking, what you can do is head over to this code tab over here and then copy this index.css file. Then you can paste this into Cursor and let Cursor work from this file onward. The third way to make your websites look absolutely fantastic is to take them to the next level with premium components. We just talked about ShadCN React components, but the library that I love so much is React Bits. If you just look at the components of this library, they are stunning and breathtaking. Components is going to be a much better alternative to just hoping the AI builds something pretty by itself. I'm going to show you exactly how I would take this library and start using some of the components in an entirely newly AI vibe coded project. So we have Cursor open in a new project. Well, actually it's the project from method 1, which was just an index HTML file with some CSS. And I said to Cursor, please build a Next.js version of this with the React Bits library. And right now it pretty much wrote all the several thousand lines of code. And then now I'm installing it with npm install, and then I'm going to test it out. Now we have the same website for method 1. It looks exactly the same, but it's now all in Next.js, and we can use the React Bits library to improve on this 10 times better. For example, in the React Bits library, there is a card called Spotlight Card, and you can see the effect looks very nice. So what if we want to copy this to our project? Now you can see in Cursor, I have pasted in the code for the JavaScript code as well as the CSS. And I'm saying add this component Spotlight Card to the card section under the section that we needed. So Cursor has implemented the component that was required and updated the CSS file. Now, if we go to the website, we should see now there is that spotlight effect that we wanted. This definitely looks a lot more professional than the cards that we started with. Another crucial aspect to making your websites look professional that literally no one talks about is fonts. For example, here I'm kind of using a font that's very AI generated still. So if you just change that tiny thing, it completely changes how your overall website will look. Google Fonts is the resource you are looking for. It has so many different fonts and so many filters to find exactly the type of font that matches your website. For example, I found this font that I think would be perfect for that hero section replacement. All you need to do to add a font to your project is hit Get Font in the top right corner, then get the embed code, and then copy this import code. Back in Cursor, all I need to do is just tell the AI to add this font to that section. Back to the website, and you can see it has updated the font, and that's just how easy it is to integrate custom fonts into your websites to make them look 10 times more professional. Now, you may have heard that you need to be really specific with AI, but people miss this every day. For example, a lot of people will just say, make this site responsive, make this section responsive and look good, but you need to be very specific. So for example, here I want to update that website, the card section, to be in a bento layout where we have some cards that are larger, some are smaller, and they should still collapse into a single line when it becomes into a mobile format. This is the kind of specificity that you need to get into because you need to just treat it like you're talking to a person. The AI cannot read your mind. Back to the site, and you can see we have this very nice looking, much more unique bento layout. And then if we resize this, you'll see that it still collapses to a single column on mobile. Make sure you try one of these methods in your app. You'll be amazed at the difference it makes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time.